Distaggio here, and you might be asking yourself, Distaggio, why in the hell am I looking at level 1 troops? I mean, like, come on. Hunters, Guardians, worthless, right? These troops are the fundamental building block, the keystone of the Dirty Kamikaze raid technique, which is meant to destroy bases like mine, which is a confusion base. And I don't know about you, but I am just sick and tired of getting annihilated by confusion bases as I raid. And maybe it's because I'm just used to having raids be so easy where I can just drop all my troops in one spot and take out a base pretty easily. Well, once you get to 8k plus might, things become a lot more tactical in terms of raiding, getting experienced and whatnot. And you can, and the confusion basis plays against that perfectly, because what happens is if I drop my whole troop force in one spot, right where you're seeing the white dot, what happens with the confusion base and why it's brilliant is that it splits your troops and it vastly makes them weaker. It makes your whole raid weak. And I would say you probably only have a 20 to 25% chance of beating your opponent in that raid. Because, again, it's just a brilliant defense. And watch some of San7's videos on it. And I know he switched to that recently, and he's been having a lot of success with it. So I highly recommend you watch that video and basically to get the key understandings of. But if you've raided against one, you know how it works. It's really awesome, and it's a great. And I just hated raiding against, so I created a raiding strategy called the Dirty Kamikaze, which defeats this base. And it's really, really ridiculous and really dirty and true to the Dirty Distaggio style of raiding, which is just, you have to exploit weakness. There's a weakness in every base, and you just have to find the way. And the way that I found to be confusion is ridiculously stupid. Oh, it's so fun though. When it works, it's fun. And now I'll say this. I'd say that it probably only has a 70% chance of beating it if your heroes are sort of equal, relatively speaking, equal in levels. Now, if your heroes are a lot higher level than your opponent, your chances go up. And if your heroes are a lot lower level, then your chances go down, maybe even to 40, 30, 20%. So you really do have to look at two things when you see a confusion base. You have to look at their heroes, which is my tactic I've been trying to ingrain in your souls forever. Look at the heroes first. And if they just have level 100 heroes, I'm just going to leave. I don't care how easy that base might look. Those heroes will annihilate your force because that's just what they do. And so in terms of the magic I grab, instead of the Dirty Trinity, which is Restoration, Fervor, Guardian Angel, I switch out Fervor with Frenzy. Because Fervor wouldn't really do much on my little hunters and guardians, right? I mean, it's not a huge benefit. However, Frenzy on my heroes, which get dropped later, is ideal. And this strategy works great. 4-wall wax typically for Thunder God, and I mean it's just the way to go. So I'm gonna do this unedited. If I fail, I fail again. There's risks, a lot of risks with taking on a confusion base. You gotta be smart about it, and just skip a confusion base if they're destroying you, and you got your griffins on deck or fairy dragons that take you an hour and a half to build. Just skip it. But if you do want to take them down, just for fun or whatever, I mean, that's really why I do it. I just like to find ways to beat everything, and that's the Dirty Distaggio way of life, I guess. Now, here is a somewhat, I guess you could call this a confusion base. Typically, a confusion base will have the heroes on the inside of those walls, because my heroes pathing around this will hit this guy's heroes. So this would be actually easier than a confusion base because the heroes aren't all protected by walls. So because this is kind of an easy one, I'm going to hit it before I time out, and I'm going to find you more of a true to form confusion base. They're very easy to spot because of the double wall system and all of their structures sitting on it, like right here, for example. Now again, first thing I'm looking at, heroes. Okay, level 80. He's got 190 druid, so he's going to be a little tricky, but... And you can see, oh, he's got level 1 griffin. See? There's a weakness here. We're going to exploit that. I do not want to go for the shotgun dwarves. He's got level 1 griffins here, which is perfect for my level 1 hunters. Oh man, he does have some towers with range, but it doesn't matter. He's got towers kind of situated funny too. But I'm just going to drop all these. I do not want to drop that spirit mage, guys. Alright, see, okay. So I took out his level 1 griffins. That was his weakness. If those were level 5 griffins, this would have been a very different story. I'm going to drop my guardians over here on this here out of tower range. Again, that was another weakness. His tower placement doesn't cover this relic hall here. So let's just exploit that. And I'm going to take this out here. Now let's just see how far these guys get. Sometimes they get a little bit farther than you expect, because guardians are good against medium armor, which is what his dudes are right there. So now that I have a gap, when I drop my heroes, obviously you all know what's going to happen. And I'm going to drop Paladin, Druid, Champion, Thunder God. I'm going to wait just a little while here on Spirit Mage because I don't want her to float her ass in there and get beat to death. So now we'll do Spirit Mage. And gotta do that shield, guys, right away. Gotta do that shield or you're done. I'm queuing up Frenzy and Frenzy. Taking out his heroes. Oh, that was beautiful. And now I just got little towers to deal with. Now what happens is his outer, whatever's on his outer perimeter, even if I had 3 army camps to deal with, they're going to get hit by area of effect. See his shotgun dwarfs getting annihilated by Spirit Mage and Thunder God? That's what we want to have happen. That's how the strategy works. Doss a heal in there. I was blind there with a couple of my heroes. I don't think I lost anyone. Typically you lose 1 or 2 heroes. Again, the defense is brilliant. It really is a super good defense. And I did lose 1. That wasn't Druid, it was Thunder God, I think. And that's how you do it. So you guys kind of saw how it worked there. I mean, yeah, did I lose all my troops? Sure, but they were level 1 and they take me 5 or 6 minutes to build a whole... Look at that. So I lost 65 Guardians. 37 Hunters. Oh, the Thunder God was the one I lost and then used 3 Magic. But I mean, look at what I took out here, guys. 14 Griffin. 24 Shotgun Dwarves. And then looks like he's at level 80s, Paladin, Executioner, level 90 Druid, level 60 Serpent Queen, 88 Thunder God. So that is it. That is the Dirty Kamikaze raid technique. That technique, again, has a 70, maybe 80% success rate if your heroes were equal. And sort of in terms of averages, my heroes are about average 80. Now, he had this level 60 Serpent Queen for some odd reason. That's like I just hate that hero. That's just, I've tried to use her and she bugs me. She's so weak. That dot she applies, it's just not strong enough. Needs an upgrade. But yeah, I mean, I think we were pretty equivalent in terms of heroes. So again, I probably only had a 70% success rate, but they had they had 2 weaknesses in addition. Now, if all of the troops on that base were shotgun dwarves, this probably would have been a little bit different rate. But because they had 1 army camp full of level 1 griffins, which you can tell by the color, you got to hit that first. You hit that with your hunters. I wiped it out. And that was one weakness. Now, the second weakness was they didn't quite have their towers right. Normally, their towers cover all 4 corners of their interior little mini base inside of the second wall. And normally they're covering all corners, and they would have done a lot more damage to my heroes as they did their breach in, as they breached straight towards the center. And so they had that little bit of a mistake there. And, those 2 things plus the Dirty Kamikaze strategy means that was a very clean raid. And of course, now I'm left with these guardians and I can build them up. And now what I do is kind of funny. I used to fear the confusion base, and now I actually look to raid only confusion bases because they typically have another weakness that I can exploit and get a really clean victory. So I hope this video helps you destroy those confusion bases. They are beatable. Every base is beatable. There's not a single base that is perfect. There's always a weakness. And you just gotta find that 1, 2, or 3 little tiny weaknesses and just hit them hard. And that is the Dirty Distaggio raid way of life. Dirty up.